What is up, BCS Nation? My bad. What's good, BCS Nation? How we feeling? How we doing out there in the land down under? It's the fellas tonight. BCS show after hours. Got you rocking and rolling. Got so much to go over right now. We got NFL. We got the World Series underway with live streaming, baby. We got a lot of things to go with the NBA and just hanging out with you guys all night long for the next hour. That's what we do. This is the BCS show after hours. Appreciate all the live viewers and listeners for being here. And we'll get off and rolling. Of course, if you're looking at your screen and then you look over to the left, you got the Soch man in the house. Soch, how we feeling?
Feeling all right. I mean, been a tough week, tough couple weeks. I mean, in my shoes, being a Cowboys fan, Warriors just lost Steph Curry. You don't know if that ankle is going to keep giving out throughout the year. I mean, we're 3 games in, and that ankle just tweaks. Like Witt would say, he's getting up there in age. Getting up there in age, ankle become more brittle. You don't want to be twisting it left and right. We don't have no co-stars, to be honest with you. Cowboys are just completely in shambles. The whole team just doesn't know where they're going. Um, I mean, I'm just looking forward to these bad boys starting up. Hopefully, Cooper Flag can take us home. But no, I mean, nonetheless, it's always a good week, and we got betting, we got L.A. Sports Equinox was yesterday. We got sports left and right. But good to be here. Hopefully, mine and Witt's Dodgers, can pull through. So glad to interesting. A lot of moves in the NFL as well. So glad to see what we all think about it. But good to be here.
Absolutely, ladies and gents. Sochman is in the house, guys. Let him know what you're feeling tonight. Got any comments, questions, or concern? Throw them his way. Of course, down below, we got the Whitster in the house. Just one man. Always got that glass in his hand. The Mr. Dodgers fan off and rolling. Whit, how are we feeling?
Chilling, down 2. We'll see what the Dodgers can do. It's a bullpen game, so I think you get to a point if you can't get it close to within a runner, or get the right lineup, coming around in the right time. I think you probably just Dave Roberts going to mail it in tonight and pack up and come back tomorrow night. But awesome start to the game. 41 degrees, snow flurries. Freddie Freeman hits another bomb, breaks George Springer's record for 7th consecutive game with a home run in a World Series. So awesome. On other news, NFL front, got the Cardinals in first place in the NFC West due to a tiebreaker with Seattle. So 4-4, Arizona making noise. I don't think anyone called that when the season started. So we'll see if they can keep it up and continue to make progress. But yeah, Dallas looks tough. Rough to watch. Don't know what the last drive in that whole thing was after everything they did before that. But yeah, man, looking forward to it. The Jets looking abysmal. No one saw that either. And the Bengals. God, Bengals and Jets, man, they got to be the biggest disappointment, right? And then the Cowboys.
Absolutely. Good to have you in here, Whit. As always, guys, we'll get WWE a little later on in the show. He's just running late on assignment, of course, running around. Doing often great. The Bet Chan Show. Right now, looking at the top of the 7th, Yankees 6, Dodgers 4. I know Whit will give us some updates with that. He's got the game on and back and everything, so we'll definitely get that going. Can the Dodgers pull it out and absolutely sweep for the World Series? We'll see. Tonight can be a little bit of history, and you get a rock along with us. Let's jump into it, though, fellas. Kind of get off and rolling and everything, how we're doing. Week 8 just passed us within the NFL. Some great games happen upon us. Of course, you got the Rams beating the Vikings. Packers, Jordan Love's looking kind of nice these days. Like Witt said, Cardinals off and rolling. Patriots absolutely stomped the Jets. Browns over Ravens. Jameis Winston. I know we'll get into a little of that tonight. Eagles stomp the Bengals. Texans over Colts. Lions over Titans. Falcons over Buccaneers. Chargers over the piss poor Saints. Commanders and the absolute Hail Mary madness over the Bears. I know we'll get into that one as well. Bills over Seahawks. Chiefs doing what the Chiefs do, still undefeated. Broncos beat the Panthers. Of course, we had Sach's Cowboys losing to the 49ers and then the Steelers last night. Russ Magic over the Giants. Guys, a quick little update for you. How are we feeling week 8? What were some games, I guess, that stuck out to you? What are you looking forward to for Week 9?
I mean, there was a bunch of obviously crucial games going on. Big story out of Green Bay. I mean, I don't know what his status is right now, but I mean, Jordan Love did leave the game in the third quarter. Malik Willis ended up finishing that game out. Did pretty damn well. He led them to a victory. Commanders and the Hail Mary. I mean, I'm watching that live. Me and my dad, and I mean, just what a jackass that dude was in the end zone. I mean, he's taunting the fans before the ball's even thrown. And I mean, that's how quick life can turn on you these days, Whit. You can be on top of the world one day, and then the next day, Whit, like, I mean, we've all been there. You're just the laughing stock, of the NFL. You just look like a jackass. Just not prepared. I mean, that's kind of the epitome of what the Bears have been. Just the laughing stock. That guy's obviously going to get ripped, I'm sure, in the meeting room, and I mean, there has to be some sort of punishment, no matter whether like you gave up the play, but you got to be more focused than that. That game was just so bad. I think on both sides, no one scoring, nothing really going on. Daniels obviously an amazing, like 70-yard bomb. You just got to give it up for both of them. I mean, I don't think it was like a Jaden Daniels game. I don't think it was a Caleb Williams game. I mean, I think it was just a game that someone had to win it. And even if Caleb Williams did win it, I mean, the narrative really doesn't change on if, both of them played well. But, I mean, Jaden Daniels is obviously going to be in the number 1 spot for Rookie of the Year so far. I'm not too bought into him just yet, but they got a good team. They got a good defense. Dan Quinn is obviously a better head coach than some of us may have thought of, at least from his Falcons days. He was a good DQ with the Cowboys, but yeah. And then I mean, your Broncos. Who would have thought that the Broncos would probably be maybe the best overall team out of the Jets? I mean, I never thought the Cowboys were going to be solid, but I mean, the Cardinals and the Broncos, two of the top teams out of the boys here. But that's pretty interesting. But
Hello.
Yeah, I'm off on these. NFL season's done. I'm pretty much just enjoying myself now. I'm not even letting the Cowboys get under my skin anymore.
Just be a fan, Scotch. Just be an analyst now, baby. Be an analyst.
I am. That's pretty much all I got to do.
What you thinking? What you're thinking? Your side of things?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting games. I mean, you look at the Packers; they only won by 3 against the Jaguars. They've squeaked them out, but I mean, I think they look incredibly efficient. That defense has a lot to be desired. The Cardinals, obviously, another close win. That's new for that franchise, trying to get that winning culture, win by a point. Obviously, the Bills looked good, but it's feast or famine with them. The Jets and Rodgers. I mean, he's just, to me, it's almost like, and I love Brett Favre, but it's almost at the end like he just become like a sideshow, man. Cayenne pepper water now before the game, week 8. He feels younger than anyone. Hamstring, Achilles, calf injury. It's like always something with Rodgers. Huge narcissist, terrible leader. Has never been the dude. Has always needed someone to supplement that leadership. And I knew it was broke when it went there. When he went there, and it's just, yeah, dude. Not enough things I could say about Aaron Rodgers. Like just a disaster. Super egomaniac. The Texans riddled with injuries, lose Diggs, ACL, that sucks. Caleb Williams looked like trash until the last drive of the game. I think, the Bears player, that's bad, and I think the only reason they're not still talking about him more is Anthony Richardson. Like, hey, hold my beer. You know what I mean? Like, hold my beer, dude. So that was terrible. And then the Cowboys Niners a little bit more competitive than I think people thought in the first half. And then third quarter got away from them. And then fourth quarter they looked really good. And then the last drive you're like, what are you doing? And it just goes back to being a disaster. So yeah, man, I think it's Chiefs still undefeated, but they're barely winning. I think you'll see them lose a game or two this year. But they're not even playing good. That defense is playing good. So and quite frankly, Kyle Hamilton's got to catch the ball. And that game seals it, and the Ravens don't lose that game. So it's all kinds of things. I think that I asked on the thread, and definitely open to discussion, man. I don't know, but it seems like the quality of play is just just down for me. It seems like the fundamentals, it seems like tackling, everything just seems I'm finding myself uninterested in many points, trying to find other things about the game to get interested in it because the quality is just poor. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old.
Here's kind of what I'll have to say. Obviously one of the big ones that stuck out to me is, again, just how dominant the Detroit Lions have shown this season so far and everything. We're talking coaching wise, offensively, just how bought in this whole team is and whatnot. I mean, just an absolute heyday. Of course, they played the Titans and everything, but a heyday, it was a heyday in the first half. And it just goes to show, when you have a team that starts to build things together, it's more than just a year. It takes a couple seasons to kind of get bought in with everything, but this is kind of their time right now. They're going to be a huge contender. I really believe that. I think a lot of people do, obviously, with how they're running things. Dan Campbell's doing a terrific job over there. And then again, you look at going back to the homie on the Bears. What we've all seen a guy talking trash on the NBA basketball court, and then a guy heaves up something from half court, right, and it goes in. We've seen moments like that. It's just so quick within sports. Nothing is impossible in sports. We've seen it all, and we're going to see more continue to go down the road. It just, until that whistle is blown, until the clock is over, until, like Sach likes to say, when the clock hits zero and then the scores start to change, right when the clock hits zero, you got to fucking stay on your toes, baby. You got to be there. And you could see I saw he put like an apology out on Twitter and everything, the Bears Nation. I mean, he was just getting grilled in the comment section, just absolutely grilled. I mean, and what do you expect too? You could see in the video too, there was Bears fans like pointing at him like, dude, turn around. And it just so happened that this guy, he was the one who tipped it to the Commanders player for like
that was the best part. He tipped
if
it
that
like
is
an
not
idiot.
karma, if that is not karma, I don't know what is. But again, it just goes to show, head on a swivel. Game's not over till it actually is. So, I mean, hopefully it's a lesson learned. But I mean, if I'm them, I'm like, dude, you're sitting out next game, or you're getting benched a little or something. That was the game. That was the game. Have the game won. Going back over, it looks like the Falcons and the Buccaneers, they always play some great games and everything. It's always fun watching those two kind of duke it out. Obviously, the Falcons have the upper hand on them thus far and everything. The Anthony Richardson thing, like you guys were talking about, and I was kind of wanting to hear what E had to say about this too, but that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. You're supposed to be the face of the franchise. You're the guy we drafted, paying money to, the face of this team, and you're gonna say, I'm done. I'm gonna sit out, a little winded. Look, you're not a winner, man. You're not a winner. And I'm not in that position. I'm no NFL quarterback, anything like that, but that is unreal. I could not believe that. And I was telling you guys earlier on in the week, you should just let Joe Flacco play anyway. I mean, he's going to give you a much better chance to win anyway. I don't know why they're dancing around that. Just let the guy play. He's a vet. He knows what he's doing. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Childish, really is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Anthony Richardson, and I've been saying it, the dude just doesn't have a lot of reps. He doesn't have a lot of reps playing football. The guy has only played or started about 21 or 22 games since he left high school. We got to think the guy left college. He only played 1 year. He came here. His whole rookie season was pretty much deflated by injuries. Now he's coming in. It's a second year under the system. He gets the whole off season. The guy just hasn't played a lot of football, to be completely honest. And we see when these backup veteran quarterbacks go in the game and the offense runs so much more smoother, like that's how competitive the league is. And a lot of these teams get a lot of the benefit of the doubt to these young guys, like, oh, they're the face of the franchise. This is what we're going to go with. We're going to get them time to develop. But at the end of the day, some organizations just cannot develop quarterbacks. And I feel like the Colts, ever since Andrew Luck kind of went, they've kind of been looking for that one quarterback to give them some hope. Yeah, Anthony Richardson has given them some good games and flashes of, I mean, not even good games. He's just giving you flashes. I don't even know if he's really put together a solid game with 300 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, like one of those games. The guy just hasn't played a lot. And I mean, the comment that he made that he was too tired and, he just come out the game. I mean, so, no matter what, sometimes you don't
That
say
is
the truth.
unreal.
You never tell the media the truth about what you're really feeling. And a lot of these dudes, Witt, I'm sure, gets pissed off. A lot of these dudes are just not media trained. A lot of these young guys are not media trained at all. It's like no PR team. They just come in and say what they want. You can't do that when you got a whole organization of fans, players. You got guys' livelihoods depending on how you perform, affecting them. I mean, the NFL is not the league for you if you're just going to tell the truth to the media or even tell the truth or like even show a sign of weakness. So I think it was a tough look. Joe Flacco's obviously the better option going forward to finish out the year. A lot of head coaches do get fired in the NFL also about holding on to that, oh, this is our guy, we're going to stick with him. And then next thing you know, you're fired. So I think the Colts, I think it's good on them. You just got to go with Joe Flacco. You got people's lives on the line. I mean, you got receivers probably like, what the fuck? Like, this dude can't even give us the ball. Josh Downs looks like a top 10 receiver in the league when Joe Flacco's in the game. And then when Anthony Richardson comes in, he just looks like he's disappeared. So, tough look for Bryce Young, tough look for Anthony Richardson. I think those two guys are going to be out of the league. They just seem like they're just career backups, to be completely honest with you. CJ Stroud is going to be the cream of the crop, probably the only quarterback out of that draft class. So, yeah. I mean, tough look. Tough look. I mean, and the Colts got a good team. They got Pittman, Downs, Jonathan Taylor. They got a good squad, but you need a quarterback out there that knows what he's doing. And you need a quarterback that's gonna fight for his team. So bad luck overall.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I do think if I was his PR guy, right, number one, I appreciated him just owning it. I don't think he sounded like he owned it. So I think it's incredibly crucial that he's accountable next time he's asked, and then has a way ahead and a way forward. I think 3rd and goal is the thing. So he lacks situational awareness of where that is. I mean, I'm not going to compare myself to professional athlete, but I've been so tired I couldn't really get out to play and kind of just, you know what I mean? And not getting paid that. So I think there's just a character thing there. I think there's a leadership thing there. I think how bad do you want it thing there. But I think the fact that he didn't try to scapegoat, he just said it. I think he said it a little bit late, laissez-faire. But if he says, hey, I need to go back, I need to do this, I haven't played a lot of football, I need to get in better shape, and he goes out and does that and then becomes a better quarterback, humbles himself and comes back. This could be an interview next year that you're looking back, you know what I mean, before a Monday night game, and they're talking about, you know, the transformation of where he is now versus where he was. So I hope as a young man, especially as like a young African-American talent in the league at that position, he comes back and does that. You remember how Donovan McNabb got roasted in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be that, because I think he was forever remembered as being out of shape after that, because he never quite looked like he was in shape to begin with. So I hope that he goes out and does that and learns from this. That was unfortunate, but it was just odd. It was all odd. Like, he could have just walked off the field, and then they could have said, you know, he got hit or his knee got twisted. It's just unfortunate that he's literally telling the whole world, I need a break. So I don't really know how to feel about it. We all make mistakes. I hope he leans into it and changes. And this is the difference between him being, you know, a solid to great quarterback or just being like soft setup backup. But unfortunately, there's dudes on that team and there's dudes throughout the league that are never going to look at him the same. You know what I mean?
It's one thing where when you're on an NBA team and you got 5 guys, you got a rotation, you get guys who can come in, give guys breathers and everything. You get the guy who's running down the court, just like, come get me real quick, you know, 30 some seconds, whatnot, take me out. But it's another thing when you're the star quarterback for a team. those guys don't get subbed out, right? You don't get subbed out like that. We've never, like, when have we ever seen this in the NFL, something like this? And I 100% agree with Sach. Some of these guys just need to know how to respond in the media, because I mean, he's getting absolutely grilled right now. He's getting grilled, and it's like, what did you expect? He probably wasn't thinking that in the moment, but the media is all over it, and they're just everywhere. So not really a good look for him. Again, I think what was just shown there too, you got to let Joe Flacco play, let him finish out the season, everything. Let this guy watch. Maybe there could be a rebirth there and everything, but I think Joe Flacco needs the reins from now on moving forward. Cool stuff. I kind of wanted to jump over to the Jameis Winston game, baby. How do we feel about that? I mean, obviously a big moment for himself and everything. Kind of, he hadn't started since I think it was 2022 or whatnot. He came out ready to go. They were doing the pregame interview. He was ready. Post-game interview. I mean, that guy's always got something to say. He looks like he's just wise with every word that leaves his mouth. How do we feel Jameis now with Cleveland?
Yeah, Jameis's biggest issue has never been him throwing the ball, putting up big numbers, throwing touchdowns. The dude threw 30 touchdowns. His only biggest issue was him in the turnovers and the low football IQ. That's really what turned him into a backup. We know he can sling the ball for 300 plus, 3 touchdowns, but then you're obviously going to have the 2 to 3 interceptions that always come with it, which he did not do. And I mean, the Browns just seem like such a more fluid offense with this dude throwing the ball. This dude, Deshaun Watson, has not had the offense look even remotely close to what Jameis just had it. And I mean, it was the same story last year. Joe Flacco went in there and made the offense look like a top 5-8 offense in the league. So I think this is a terrible look for Deshaun. I don't know if he'll ever play another down in Cleveland. Who knows where he's going to go after this? Obviously, because he's got a whole year. I don't see him even playing maybe even next year. I think you just kind of sit it out. If you rush that back over to Cleveland and you lose a couple games, you're obviously not going to look good when you do return, and you only got 8 to 9 games to really make up for it. But Jameis, I mean, the dude's a baller. He's a gamer. It just goes to show another one of these veteran quarterbacks in the league that when they go in there, the team looks completely different. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these teams just try to force this young quarterback and like these decisions that they make down the people's throats and like, oh, this is who we got. But a lot of these backup quarterbacks, I mean, you look at Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston. A lot of these guys know how to play the football position very well. So I think we'll see a lot more of these guys become NFL starters and less of the young rookie quarterbacks. Even though I know Deshaun's not a rookie, but I mean, what a good game for him. Proud of that guy. I mean, he's awesome. Everyone in the media loves him. Everyone on social media loves him. He's always a meme. So it was good to see that the Browns won the game, and I love that I love that Jameis Winston beat Lamar Jackson. It just goes to show when the Ravens cannot run the football, they will not win the game. And I think they got away from the run and they started passing and passing and passing. That's not the way that Lamar Jackson wins your football games. You can't throw the ball with this dude more than you run. You got to have it 50-50 split. So shout out to the Browns.
Yeah, I think Jameis is that goofy leader, you know what I mean? And I don't know about every word that comes out of his mouth. He seems like a genius. The dude quite literally doesn't make a lot of sense. That's why people think he's funny. Like,
it's like he's still at FSU and he's still giving speeches as like a college quarterback to grown men, and they're like, what the fuck?
You can definitely listen to him, and he sounds like he lacks an education or didn't go to class very much, for sure. Look at the play for the logo on our helmet. Wait, we don't have one on our helmet. And he's literally like being like, that is him. You know what I mean? But the guys rally around him. And what's to Sach's point, the year he threw 33 touchdowns, I think he threw 31 picks, which I don't even think Brett Favre did that. I know he threw a lot of picks, but I'm trying to think the last time I saw a 30-30 guy. Maybe Peyton
Dude's a
and
gunslinger, man. I think he threw 30 and 30. 30
yes,
picks, 30 touchdowns.
yeah, something crazy. But he almost threw one to end the game. Kyle Hamilton, an all-pro, has to catch that ball. Threw it right at him, stops everything. But to Satch's point about the Ravens is, when are they going to go out? And Zay Flowers is nice, right? I don't know how long that ankle is going to bother him, but when are they going to go out and say, we're going to go get a receiver that can not just take the top off the defense, but
They just got one.
yeah, but
Deontay Johnson.
But like, when is it going to translate to Lamar and him with a relationship versus being off script and then a big play is made? You know what I mean? It's like, that's Lamar's, the knock on him is when he's on time, they're not on time. You know what I mean? It's just awkward to watch. The Ravens, they always find a way, but I think in the end, if that's the way you're going to play football, you're going to get beat in the playoffs. And you know, unless you catch a Derrick Henry just runs through, you know, the playoffs. But yeah, man, I don't know, but you're right about the Browns. If I'm the Browns, like Deshaun Watson, I'm looking at any way to get out from underneath that and pay him a third or half of what I owe him, and then just torch it, man. Like, it's like a toxic relationship. It's like, you know, it's going to end. It's just when. Just end it now. Just on the ride home.
Stop the bleeding.
Pull in the driveway, turn the radio down and say, look, it's not you, it's me, it's us, whatever it is. Hey, it's been a hell of a ride. Keep the clothes, you know, that I have at your house, you know, and
keep the clothes that I have at your house.
You know, like, just, we're good. We're even, and back out and never look back. Because that's where this is at. You know what I mean? It's awful. He's just that'll be a 30 for 30. Like, has there ever been anyone who was so high, so early, and thought of so much and just plummet? I mean, just a crazy story.
Needs to be a Deshaun Watson and a Ben Simmons like co-star documentary about what the
Good
fuck
Lord.
happened to two
That's
dudes
another
that
thing.
on top of the world, and their world just crashes down.
But it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. That division is interesting, especially if the Browns begin to play. I think what they're capable of playing, and does Garrett Miles get traded? God, what a large fucking human being, dude. Just a fucking unit, man. And you're like, dude,
who can dunk a basketball like it's nothing.
That dude's a scary individual, man. Like, scary individual.
But shout out Jameis. I like it. I hope he does well and everything. I know he's kind of took some time off, right, being a backup and whatnot, but now it's just kind of time to show himself. And what a better time than, you know, they take on the Chargers next week, fellas. So that's definitely a winnable game for them for sure, and a nice little step up. Let's kind of head over to week 9. Any games you guys are kind of looking forward to? Of course, I'm definitely looking forward to the Broncos-Ravens games. I'll tell you what, Ravens, I'm not going to blow anything out of proportion or anything, say anything crazy or whatnot, because I think the Broncos are still building on offense, getting things going. But the one thing I will say is that if I'm the Ravens, I might be scared of the Broncos defense. I will say that. I don't think they played a defense like that. So it could definitely be a game or so. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, stay tuned for the Parlay Show, ladies and gents, on Saturdays. I'll probably have a little something to do with that. Throw you in a little action. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys. Last night, Monday Night Football was a fun show. Saw some of you guys in there. Of course, we got tonight, show tomorrow, and then a show Thursday. And then, of course, guys, every morning, 6:30 a.m., Sach and myself will be giving out NBA player props, tossing them your way. These are free picks every day. I know Sach had the stick this morning. We will be doing that every day. And, guys, hop on the free Discord at the Bet Champ Show, guys. Sach and the E tossing out absolute bangers in the Discord. Free plays. Don't miss out. Free plays. Doing it for you guys. We're off and rolling. And tune in to all the social media accounts. That's at the Bet Champ Show. You'll see all our clips, all our sports picks, things like that coming your way. Heading back to it though, week 9, guys. Again, any kind of games you guys are looking forward to with that? Obviously, Thursday night too. You got Texans Jets. I wish he was in here because I just totally want to talk about this situation. It's just horrible, horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. But I'll bounce over to you fellas.
to go off what you just said with that, I mean, with that, it's week 9, right? Yeah. With that Broncos Ravens game, that's no cakewalk for the Ravens. If they can't establish the run, and the Broncos are a pretty damn good run defense team so far. I mean, they're just a solid overall defense. If they let Lamar Jackson throw the football, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what type of day this dude's going to have. So the biggest thing is you got to contain Lamar, and you got to keep Derrick Henry away from busting those 20, 25-yard runs. If you can do that, I think the Broncos may have a shot. They really legitimately may have a shot. It's just if they can put up as much points. That's what I'm really worried about. Just at a glance, I'd be looking at the total. The total
Ravens
set
defense isn't good though, Sach. Remember that
total
too.
set. Yeah, total set at 45.5. I could see this being a 20-17 game, a 23-17 game. I don't see this really going over 45.5 just at a glance. Two solid defenses. Bo Nix, obviously that Broncos offense, you don't really know what you're going to get week in and week out. Yeah, they look great against the Panthers. In Baltimore, that's a whole different story. But that defense, I think, could keep them in the game. So that's one that I'm really interested in. Not that one. Bears Cardinals is another good one. I mean, Witt's guys. You got Kyler Murray, Witt's guy, and then you got Big Zesty, another Witt guy who, I don't know who's going to really come out on top. That could be a good game as well. Lions Packers, is Jordan Love going to come in? Is he going to play? Lions are obviously a fucking juggernaut. The last two teams that they played, the Cowboys and and whoever they played last week. I mean, what absolute blowouts they did on them. So those are a couple. I don't really see too many interesting games on the docket, but definitely interested in that Broncos Ravens.
Yeah, so I think that the two games, the two best games on the slate are going to be the Lions Packers. Obviously, the most implications. You have that one, and then the other one. What was that? What was the other one I was looking at here? The other one is there's a few seasons that can be over.
Colts, so the Jets season could be over instantly.
Dolphins season could be over, and the Cowboys season could be over.
Oh, so Cowboys are over. Don't even worry about them.
Those are two teams that it's going to be a wrap. The other big one that's down here is the Rams Seahawks. One of those is gonna take a huge step back with a loss. They're gonna be 4-5, or they're gonna be 3-5. And this is where I think Arizona needs to go in. They're at home against the Bears. They should win this game. And then we're going to see, in my opinion, the Thursday night game is interesting to me just for Aaron Rodgers, and kind of when you look at legacy and you look at, like, how are you going to respond? How are you going to lead? How's your body language going to be? Right now, really what you're doing is the season is over for the Jets. But how are you going to start to build towards next year with the rest of this year and get on the same page with all them cats? That's what I'd be looking at. Oh, the other game I was talking about was obviously the Broncos Ravens. Those Broncos Ravens, Lions Packers. Those are the two games. Like, those are the two most competitive on paper games that matter the most for what we're going to find out. Because are the Lions going to kind of make the Packers their daddy? You know what I mean? In Green Bay, and then the Broncos going on the road with the Ravens. We're about to find out how real they are, and I think that defense can keep them in the game. But God. How hard is it to bottle up Jackson and fucking Henry, dude? Like, it's just like, run early, run often, even if it's not working, because I don't think the Broncos are going to blow you out. So I think you'll be able to run the ball longer than most games. So those two games are the most competitive. But I think when you look at the Dolphins, must win, and you look at the Cowboys, must win, or it's a wrap.
I think I like the games you guys mentioned. The other game I'd kind of throw in there, I think the Buccaneers-Chiefs game, the Monday night game, could be pretty interesting. I like that that's a primetime game. Obviously, Baker's kind of struggled the last couple games, I'd say, but, they're still not out of anything, and I'd like to see him put up a fight against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, honestly, have had a little bit of a cakewalk schedule. Not going to make any excuses, but, you play who you play. They still look great. They're just more game managing right now and everything. It's not like they're absolutely dominating people or anything. They're just kind of rolling the clock and whatnot. Going back to what you guys are saying, though, I'm just getting back real quick to the Broncos-Ravens. Again, I hope we can get our offense going over there in Denver, in Baltimore. I hope Bo Nix kind of shows what he just showed last week, though. He shows that he can definitely throw the rock. I think obviously they played the Panthers, but I think he was putting the ball in some great places. And there was a lot of times guys were dropping balls. I mean, he was putting them right on the money and everything. So I'd like to see a little more of that. He didn't scramble as much, obviously, because they were beating him so bad. So that's something you got to look at. I think really the one thing that could take us out of this game is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the one focus I would be on. Lamar's going to do his thing and everything, but as Sach likes to say, Lamar doesn't really like to stay in the pocket too much, which I think is a great strength for Denver because Denver really likes to get at the quarterback. But I think it's just Derrick Henry and his explosive plays. That's the one thing that could take you out of the game for sure if you let that guy get off and rolling. But if Lamar's floating the ball up in the air, I like the Denver D on this one, fellas. I really do. The defense, to what Witt said, is definitely going to keep Denver in this game.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the box score right now. Derrick Henry averaged 6.6 yards a carry, and he ran the ball 11 times. You only give the ball to Derrick Henry 11 times, and he had a 39-yard run. It's not like you were being blown out. You were winning the game. And you run the ball 21 times for the game, and you have Lamar Jackson throw the ball 38 times. That is not the recipe for the Ravens to win football games. It's just
as
not.
He would say, horrible.
Horrible. You got to run the ball 33 times, and you got to pass the ball 25 to 30 times. That's all you need to do. Once you start getting in those high 38, 35 plus throws with Lamar, and when you're winning the game, you're controlling the game. I just don't agree with it. I don't understand it. Every single game that the Ravens have been winning on this streak, you're running the ball 20 plus times with Derrick Henry every game. So, if the Broncos can maybe get an early lead, and you have Lamar throw that ball, I mean, you never know. I don't think this team's really built to come back from behind. I think they're a team that's just going to run the ball down your throat, get an early lead, and just stick with their guns. But sometimes I think Jim Harbaugh just gets out of his way, and he wants to be too cute, and he wants to show that Lamar can throw the ball 35, 40 times. But I just don't think it's the recipe for this guy this point in his career. But yeah, that'll be an interesting game.
Yo, gotta flip the script though. Huge game at 9:00, 0900, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. Ohio State visiting Penn State. Ohio State's undefeated. Penn State with one loss. You got Duke going to Miami 6-2 versus 8-0. You got Oregon going to the Big House. I get it. Michigan is not what they were. 8-0, number one team in the nation, going to the Big House 5-3. Florida, Georgia, always a tough game. 4-3 versus Georgia, 6-1. And then you got right down here, you got at 5 o'clock on the ACC network, 18 versus 20, 7-0 Pitt against 7-1 SMU. So pretty good college slate when you look at the top 25. That Ohio State-Penn State game is going to be interesting. I hate that they always do that and put it as an early game. I feel like that's where they need to flip the schedule and have it as a night game at Penn State with a whiteout. The ratings would just be that much better. But yeah, it's a good college football Saturday too.
100%. Yeah, college has definitely not disappointed this year. Some exciting games to be played. Of course, we're going to get you guys some action on that. I know E's out tonight, guys, on assignment, but I know he's going to get you some absolute bangers for Saturday for some plays for you guys to rock with. So stay tuned to that. Of course, again, I just want to plug in, stay tuned on the Discord at the Bet Champ Show. Plays coming out each and every day. We're talking NFL, we're talking NBA, and of course, like Witt's saying, we got some college football coming out your way. So be sure to check that out. It's all free. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys being in the house. This is the Bet Champ Show after hours. Uncut, uncuffed, baby. Let's kind of switch the subject and everything. I kind of wanted to throw this out in the air, and I just wanted to get some simple thoughts.
What an absolute disgrace. What an
D-Wade
absolute
statue
tragedy.
presentation.
But I think, dude, they just all got to start because when you look at the Hall of Fame busts, I was listening on Shannon Sharp and Ocho, like, bro, those Hall of Fame busts, they look pretty damn good. I think when these teams try to like cut corners and try to go through as someone else, like for the bust and the statues, like, I mean, this isn't the first time that we've seen a pretty awful statue of someone of recent memory, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how you really pass that. I guess they said Dwayne Wade agreed with it. He saw it before it came out and he gave him the okay. I think he just really didn't give a fuck. He didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. He didn't want to be a problem. So I think he just let it rock. But yeah, I don't know if that really looks too much like D Wade, if you ask me. Don't put corners on something that lasts forever. It's like going to a cheap tattoo artist. It's on you forever. It's out there forever.
They always do this shit, right? Like you look at the Kobe statue, his face is fine, but the rest of his body is disproportionate to his head. He's just like looks like he was an over like muscular dude. And the same thing with Dwayne Wade. It's like, dude, it's when I saw it, I felt terrible. I felt terrible for a lot of people. Felt terrible for Dwayne Wade. Felt terrible for like the dude who did it because it's like, you know, an artist knows like they fucked up. And you know Dwayne Wade was just like, I don't want to be that. Like, I don't want to be.
He don't want to be that guy. Yeah, he probably.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like I don't want to say anything rude. They did me this solid. I don't know how much it costs. You know those things are fucking outrageous. But dude, it's bad. Like it's bad. And the funniest meme, I know you guys have probably seen it, was when they had the big three and then they put that head on Wade. So you had LeBron, Bosh, and then you had Wade. Like, remember they took that picture, but they put the head on Dwayne Wade, and that just showed you like how much it didn't look like Dwayne Wade. That shit was terrible. And it's like Dwayne Wade has a round head, but his jaw is not that like that big. It's just it's bad. And then but the first thing I thought of, he kind of looked like he has the scars on his face like fucking Seal. You know what I mean? Like it almost looks like he has scars on his face. So it's like if you pull it back up, he looks like Seal almost. Like it's like, yeah, like what the fuck?
He looks like he's like 80 years old.
And hey, tell me this: why's he got a wedding ring on? Like he's got a wedding ring on, dude.
Hold on, let me see it, Zeej. Let me see.
It's fucking outrageous. Like he's got a wedding ring on, dude.
Oh shit.
This is one of the most. I don't understand how these teams have so much money, all the money in the world. This is your guy. This is Miami Heat. D Wade is Miami Heat. This is your guy. And you throw out some crap like that. That was terrible. Horrible. Looks nothing remotely like him. And I saw what Sach was saying too. It looked like D Wade obviously approved of it and everything, but I don't think he really cared. Or probably
I think he was just happy to get a statue.
He's happy to get a bust and everything. But if you're the team and you saw this, you knew what it was going to look like before going out. Horrendous. Terrible. That's going to sit there forever now. And everyone's clowning him. It's all over the media. Everyone is clowning it. Everyone. If you're the art, like that looks nothing like D Wade. Nothing. So,
tough look.
So statues, speaking statues, and I asked Sox this, how many statues do you think LeBron's going to end up with? All three stadiums?
I think he's gonna go Cleveland for sure. That's pretty guaranteed. I think the Miami Heat one, Pat Riley. I don't see them being on the right foot to where they'll do it. They might do it later down the road. You know, like 8 years after, like something. But I think they're gonna like let it marinate in his head, like and piss him off a little bit. Like they're gonna play that mind game with him. Like,
what about LA?
I think you're getting one, but 4 years have gone by and I haven't gotten the call. 5 years, 6. I think they'll take him a while.
And what about LA?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they will. And it depends how it goes. I don't know.
And then an award named after him. You think that'll ever happen? And if so, what award?
Yeah, the issue is what award? Who are you going to kick out? Are you going to kick out? You're not going to kick out Bill Russell for the Finals MVP award. You ain't going to kick Kobe out for the All-Star Game award.
Jordan's the MVP.
No, Jordan's not the MVP award. Who's the MVP award?
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Jordan's either the MVP or he's the finals.
No, Bill Russell's the Finals MVP award. I'm not too sure. They need to name the Larry O after LeBron. The LBJ award.
Larry O.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who the MVP award is though. I don't think it's
I want to say,
MJ.
here we go. Most Valuable Player Award is named after Michael Jordan.
Is it?
It's now called the Michael Jordan Trophy. Yeah.
When was this?
They did it a few years ago. Made the change in 2022-23 season.
Oh shit.
So and it's awful. Like when you look at it, like it's terrible. So like, look, it looks like a Dancing with the Stars trophy.
You know what
Good
I think?
Lord.
You couldn't spread his legs like you couldn't just do the iconic. I wonder if it was like.
Call me crazy, but I think he'll get something better than an award. I think once that logo changes with the next commissioner,
What logo is it going to be though?
I could see LBJ becoming the logo.
We're not gonna make LeBron the logo. Come on.
Yes,
Hey,
no.
it's a shot in the dark. It's a shot in the dark.
Come
Just
on.
know that
I'll
Adam
tell you what we're
Silver-
not gonna do.
Adam
What-
Silver feeds into that thing, and I
What
think after a
position?
while,
What pose?
10
Are you
years
gonna
from
put
now,
him?
if you see LBJ become the logo, yeah, you heard it here first.
The logo.
What pose are you going to put him in? Like what pose?
Oh,
Will
you
it
got
be
22
LBJ?
years of film to find out a pose. You got 22 years of
There's
of-
no
of-
pose
of
that they're like
silhouettes
that's
to look.
LeBron. Like
You know
could
which
do
one
a
it-
crossover for Iverson. You
The
have
logo.
him-
Yeah,
Like,
the logo will be LBJ's hairline.
And that'll be a damn good logo. I'll tell you what, that'll be a good logo too.
The logo might be hidden behind holding on to bars because he went to too many Diddy parties.
They'll figure out an award. I mean, look at the last couple of years. They got the Clutch NBA award. They got the Hustle award. They got the fucking. I
He
think
can
maybe
have
the
those.
scoring.
Yeah, he can
they'll
have
do
all
some
those.
award for.
Let
it,
me
man.
tell you what he's not going to get, Sach. He is not going to get the Clutch Award. That is not what he's going to get.
No, I'm just saying they'll add an award. I think for him.
Yeah, Mr. Versatility, Mr. Triple Double, like you know what I mean? Something
Yeah.
like that.
That's not too bad. Yeah, I could see that. Something, at least something.
I love it. I love it. Glad we had it. I wish he was on. I wanted to get his reaction for the D Wade statue again. Absolutely horrendous. Terrible. Nice little show tonight, guys. Bet Champ Show after hours. We're at the bottom of the 8th right now for the World Series. Yankees still lead 6-4. I know Witt's just pounding. His heart's pounding right now. I still think they're all right though. Witt
7-4. Lux fucking throws it
7-4.
perfect infield in. Fucking throws it up the first baseline when he's got the guy at home dead to rights. Fucking throws it up the first baseline. Like this game is dangerous. You got Garrett Cole going tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, you do not want to go back and rely on your pitching if you're the Dodgers. It's worked so far. Other than this inning, though, what I do like about the game tonight is 4 of those runs were scored on a grand slam. But what I don't like is they had the bases loaded before that. They had 2 on the inning before that. So the Yankees should have blown them out tonight. This game should be 11-4, 12-4 right now. The Yankees are just not able to put the ball in play and get runners home. But look out for the Yankees. They're going to win tonight. And I think if they win tonight, they win tomorrow. And then it goes back to L.A., which is great. I'd love to close out in L.A. on a Friday, Saturday while I'm down in San Diego and love to drink my cold, frosty beer in front of all those UPS driving fans. But other than that, you know, God, if they lost, that would be brutal to endure it at a San Diego bar with all the dudes that just want to talk shit to me.
Yeah, I think there's always that one game with where the other team catches up. We see it in the NBA. We'll see it here and everything. Yeah, let them get something big, 10-4.
Said a 3-run home run.
Yeah, let this one be a wash. With I still see the Dodgers taking this thing, cleaning house at the end of the day and everything. You're gonna have that one game where the other team's playing good and whatnot. So,
Every
Witt's
day they were
Dodgers
due for a blowout.
yeah, they were due. They were doing cool stuff. The BCS show, guys, after hours every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, catch Sach and myself tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for all your NBA player props. We're going to get you off and rolling, free plays for you guys. Of course, more shows to come and follow. Appreciate all the live viewers and listeners tonight. You guys are always great. Going to keep this thing going, keep it rocking. Love hanging out with you guys. Always comment if you want. We'll give you a shout out on the show. Quick around the room before we put a bow on this thing. Any last remarks from the fellas?
I think a lot of NBA teams are starting to, catch their rhythm. I think we're going to see some big scoring games coming here on out. But I think the NBA is going to be a lot more competitive than people think. The Celtics are obviously the cream of the crop. I mean, these guys are fucking deep. I mean, you got Peyton Pritchard the other night just going for 28 points off the bench, just a 3-point specialist. Outside of the Celtics, I think everyone is still up in the air. Obviously, don't overreact to the first week, but I think this might be one of the crazier trade deadline seasons that we've seen in a while, where teams are going to start trading people before that All-Star break. So be ready to lock into that. I think there are going to be a lot of moves coming before the trade deadline to catch the Celtics, because at the end of the day, that's a team that everyone's trying to beat right now. They're just so far ahead. A lot of teams are in that championship window of like 2 to 3 years, and the time is now. So just looking forward to that, and hopefully Steph Curry comes back revamped and ready. I mean, the Warriors started off 2-0 with the 2 35-plus point wins, and then it just blinks like that. So going to be looking forward to these next couple weeks of NBA and seeing where teams kind of go ahead and even out and who's doing what. So, but Blue Devil basketball starting real soon.
Yeah, Flag
Stay
got the
locked into Cooper Flag, baby.
Yeah, Cooper Flag got a Gatorade deal today, so that was interesting. It's gonna be fun to watch the Dukies this year and him. The Celtics are the class of the NBA right now, and if healthy, like I just think White and Tatum in the Olympics, especially White, like you've just seen, like it sucks. And I don't know if he won this award. Did he ever win Most Improved? Because
no, I don't think he did.
Over the last 3 years, I don't think there's a player in the league.
He's probably the most improved that made that jump. I mean, this is a team that Popovich got rid of him.
Yeah. It's crazy to see his development at this point in his career. Like over the last 3 years, the guy went from like a 3-and-D to just like he's a legit two-way player, and he can put the ball on the floor. He moves well without the ball. He can spot up. He can pull up. Like it's crazy to see like his game. But yeah, the Celtics are the class. It's gonna be interesting to see if Booker and Durant stay there. I don't think they'll be competitive. They'll be down there, but I just don't see them winning a title. Do the Suns cut bait with one of them, and if so, which one? So that'll be an interesting thing to watch as the season progresses, and then obviously all the other things. And I saw the Sixers got fined for the Embiid injury stuff, so more shenanigans there with Joel Embiid. So. But yeah, I think the Celtics repeat, and I don't even know who challenges them and takes them to 6.
Yeah, cool stuff tonight, fellas. Love it. Back in the house, got everything going for the show. World Series, more stuff to come. Don't worry about it tonight, baby. We'll be back and rolling and everything. Again, appreciate all the live viewers and listeners. Always appreciate having you guys. No E tonight. Guys, let us know what's going on the social media accounts. Love tossing out free plays to you guys and everything. Love having you be a part of the show. We got so much more to come. So love all the support. Appreciate all the live viewers and listeners always. And we will catch you guys tomorrow morning as well as tomorrow night. And we will see you on the next episode. Peace.